So now we're going to kind of dip our toes a little bit into some of the DC fandom stuff here. But I'm going to talk about something that is definitely catching both my attention and yours, which is that
this is, stuff got announced before DC fandom.
Yes.
It was like a few days before.
Yeah. And so we saw this. I believe this was like on the 20th, which is a couple days or a day before the actual thing, which was that Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck will both appear as Batman in the Flash movie, directed by Andy Muschietti, who did It Chapters 1 and 2 most recently. And his wife, Barbara, who's like a main producer of the whole thing, explains that Ben Affleck is returning to the Flash, and for this reason. Right now, he's in a place where he can actually enjoy being Batman. He doesn't have to carry the entire movie. It's a pivotal role, but at the same time, it's a fun part, which I think is overall a good thing for the movie The Flash not to be centered around Batman. I think that's a good idea.
Kind of like they find a nice little balance there with, like, Homecoming and it was Homecoming with Iron Man.
Where Tony came in. Yeah, absolutely. And then it goes on to say, like, Ben Affleck, he got the script for The Flash at the end of last week. This was on the 20th, and agreed this week to rejoin the project. Quote, he's a very substantial part of the emotional impact of the movie, is what Andy Muschietti said in regards to that. And then I'll cap this off real quick to get your thoughts by saying Andy Muschietti explained why he's pivotal, saying it's Barry's story, but the characters are more related than we think. They both lost their mothers to murder, and that's one of the most emotional vessels of the movie, which is 100% true. I mean, it goes through a lot of heroes, but Batman's primary motivation, as everyone knows, is that his parents are gone, and one of Flash's primary motivations is that his mom's gone. It actually does work really, really well. So, what do you think about both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck being a part of this?
Oh man, I was jumping for joy when I heard that Michael got announced. First of all, Michael Keaton got announced first. That he was gonna be he officially confirmed, because it was just a rumor. We talked about it, that eventually they could spin it off into a Batman Beyond movie. So still hoping for that one too. But dude, I'm so hyped, man, because we get to see him in full suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because God, it's just, for me, that's nostalgia on another level, because that is my Bat. You know what I mean? That's the Batman.
Well, I don't blame you. I mean,
him and also Kevin Conroy is the animated series. Like those two are my Batman.
Well, Tim Burton's Batman movie really, honestly, I think is the saving grace of that character. I mean, before that, you had like Adam West and his Goofy thing, which helped continue the character to be in the public mind. But when Tim Burton came on and he made it dark, serious, people took it seriously. You had Jack Nicholson as the Joker, this high-profile guy playing this part. Everyone's like, wait a minute, Batman's cool? Hold on a second. And it just spawned everything, including my favorite Batman, which is from Batman the Animated Series, like you said, Kevin Conroy. That wouldn't have happened without that movie. Michael Keaton is very, very much Batman, and appreciate it.
Yeah, so I cannot freaking wait so bad. Like, that got me really, really excited. But when they announced that Ben Affleck coming back as Batman as well, I'm like, dude, this is going to be a good fucking story to get him back in there as well. And I'm rooting for him, because I think Batfleck, he got fucking... He got the shit in stuff. And it sucks, man, because he never officially got his own Batman film, and hopefully I'm still rooting for him to get his own. Even if it's still set in the universe of the Justice League, because we all know damn well, if he's coming back now, that means that the Batman with Robert Pattinson, that's its own thing. That is clearly its own thing.
That was also confirmed to be completely its own thing.
And it was confirmed. Yeah, in the panel. Well, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? So that means that we can still there could still be two Batmen Well, technically three Batman now. It's because of Michael Keaton, but they can still be two Batman in the universe without, they can still coexist without them actually,
Well,
having to explain why there's two different ones or whatever.
what was really interesting with the whole DC fandom, but really they hammered it in during the Flash panel, which was DC is really, really embracing now the whole thing that they have like a big multiverse and wanting to say that, yes, the shows, the movies, all the different versions that's ever been, they all exist simultaneously, and that we're going to be able to have crossovers occasionally, not often, and things like that, and saying that we appreciate all the different versions that have come in and essentially are like, that's one of the beautiful things about DC is that we can tell these really crazy one-offs here and there, and it's still fun, but it gives us the creative freedom to kind of shuffle things as we want, which I think is kind of a brilliant play because, as you know, and we've talked about it many times, the DCEU is some of the biggest clusterfuck in film I have seen in a while as far as the continuity and direction.
Yes.
And this is a pretty good like band-aid to put on it that actually kind of almost fixes it in a way.
I don't want to say it fixes it, but they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, like it's a really
they're
good.
Heading, right now they have momentum, dude. They have so much momentum. So I'm rooting for them, dude. I really am rooting for them because my favorite superhero of all time is Batman. Regardless, that is a favorite superhero. Obviously, there's multiple on the Marvel end, but I'm always, gonna be rooting for DC. So I'm hoping, dude, that this they capture the tone of Tim Burton's work. Whenever, because I'm just going off the speculation, is that the script is gonna be fucking awesome, right? I'm just expecting, or not. I don't want to expect, but I'm kind of just thinking that they're going to use Ben Affleck's Batman to somehow help Barry go through time to go back, but he ends up going to a different timeline where he meets up with Tim Burton's Batman, which is Michael Keaton.
Yep.
And then things go wrong there, and then he has to help him get back or go through a different timeline or whatever, right? So I think it's headed in a good route, dude. I'm so excited. Like, I haven't been this excited for a superhero movie in a good while. Like, don't get me wrong, like I get pumped over superhero movies and stuff. Like Endgame, I was pumped about that one too. But this one in particular, because this is like my favorite Batman of all time, that it's exciting because I wasn't able to see Batman Returns when I was a kid. When that came out, I didn't see that one in theaters. I saw it on video. And same thing with the original 1989 Batman. I didn't get a chance because I was born that year.
Yeah.
This would be the first time that I actually go to a movie theater. Let's cross our fingers that movie theaters will be open by then. That I'll get to see Michael Keaton in the Batsuit for the first time, like on the big screen. So this is huge, man. I'm super excited. But with that being said, I think we should, from there, let's kick off all the DC fandom stuff.
Okay.
Where should we start, dude?
Well, I think it's a natural transition to say that we should talk about the last panel that happened at DC fandom, which is the Batman panel.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that trailer, man. That trailer, dude. First and foremost, Matt Reeves prefaced it, right? He's acting like it's nothing. And he basically says, we've shot maybe a quarter of the movie. So we don't have much to show. It's only 25% of the movie we've shot. That's it. Puts on the trailer. That trailer, honestly, if you hadn't told me there was 25% of the movie only in that trailer, I would not have believed it because it looked really compelling and really good.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, I was like, 25%?
Yeah.
It looks like you fucking filmed the whole thing.
It looks great, as is.
My reaction the entire time, man. I swear, on the inside, I was just thinking, like, 25%? Yeah, fucking right. I felt like he kind of, I don't know. Man.
I believe him. Because they weren't filming long. They weren't. They really weren't.
It felt like it was like they filmed for like Not even. I felt like a month, probably, if that, and then that was it. But dude, this trailer was fucking awesome, man. I really enjoyed it. I love the tone of it, man.
Yes.
The tone is very dark, very different from any other Batman film that I've watched. It seems like it's headed in a really good direction right now. I also want to talk about the controversies behind it because I want to get your opinions.
I am completely unaware of any controversies, so this will be new.
Controversies, but just little nitpicks from the the Bat fans. They don't think that Robert Pattinson looks the part.
Get out of here.
Saying that he looks too emo.
Get out of here.
That his look, like they should cut his hair and just certain things like that.
Get out of here. No. Okay, here's something that always bothered me. Okay, and I don't know if I'm the only one. When a Batman who is clearly wearing eyeliner behind the mask takes off the mask and it's clean, no, that's not how that works. You would see the eyeliner from the mask still on there, which is what that is. He's not an emo at a rave party. That's what that is. I think he absolutely looked the part. I mean, he's young. This is 2 years into him being Batman. He's still figuring it out. He's still very young. He's obviously able to do some physicality, which we'll talk about. I think that's ludicrous to me. No, I don't.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to Michael Keaton's Batman. When he got announced to play as Batman, people were kind of shitting on him too. Like Michael Keaton as Batman, the people were just kind of talking about it. There's history behind that too, where Tim Burton talks about it. Like when he wanted to cast Michael Keaton as Batman, that a lot of people just weren't with it. And look how that turned out. He's one of the icons now. And so the same thing. You just have to stay optimistic about certain, people. Like, I don't know. I think he looks fine, man. I like this interpretation of him. It is different to me. Like, it looks different than any other Batman I've seen.
It reminded me a lot of almost the Arkham Batman.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go as far as that, but
I want to say that because he didn't look like he was wearing a muscle suit.
Okay, so you're referring to him as like in the bat suit, right?
Yeah, where he looks more athletically built and ninja-ly built than some guy who's gonna like wrestle you in the dirt.
Right. Okay, no, I get you on that point. I was mainly more talking about him as Bruce Wayne, I guess. The look of him as Bruce Wayne. I think a lot of people's complaint is that he doesn't look like he would be like a Bruce Wayne, I guess, Yeah. But I think it's completely fine. Like I dig the look. I dig like that they're going with something completely different. And also the tone that he's going for is supposed to be more, I guess, semi like realistic. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like it's not realistic that a guy in a bat suit is gonna be, right? At the end of the day, it's not gonna be. But the fact that he's trying at least to go with that tone, I think that the overall tone of the film kind of fits the character's look. It seems very dark and kind of, depressing. You know what I mean? Which kind of go into like some of the people's looks in the film. Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon. I thought he looks fucking perfect, dude.
Dude, I love how he looked.
Dude, for him, you know what I mean? Another one was Paul Dano. I think it's Dano. He's playing Edward Nygma, or I think in this one it's called Edward Nashton, aka the Riddler.
Okay.
So that should be that look. He looks.
It's not very Riddler, like classic Riddler at all.
Obviously, it's not. The writing and the note that he leaves Batman in the trailer is very Riddler. Yeah. The look, who knows? That can be probably just the very beginning of him. Maybe he goes into a different, Riddler look or whatever. But I like it because it looks very serial killer-ish, man.
Yeah.
Especially at the beginning of the trailer, how you hear the tape. Like, dude, what the fuck?
Exactly.
It looked very intense. We can go into Zoe Kravitz's look as Selena Kyle's Catwoman.
Yeah, that one I didn't like as much, but I thought as far as like the design with the ear thing, I thought that was a little too subtle.
Obviously she just had the ski mask with the cutoff or whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like some of these looks might get changed. You know what I mean?
True.
Maybe as characters develop, maybe they go into like a full different suit, or the same thing with the Batman.
Again,
maybe by the end. Maybe by the end of the movie, he has a different suit already, or maybe it's a little, different looking. So yeah, but the one that got people talking because they had no idea that was him in the trailer, Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Great.
That dude, because when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Is that the Penguin?" I'm like, "Yeah," and then I hear him talking again when he's in the car. He's like, "This guy's crazy." I was like, well, "That's fucking Colin Farrell."
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
It's the hook nose for me. The hook nose.
Yeah, like it's because the shots are kind of quick. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of see somebody's face. I'm like, oh, that could be the Penguin, right? And but it's his voice that I immediately knew that was Colin Farrell. I'm like, oh my god, dude, they did such an amazing job in terms of like the prosthetics, dude.
Yeah.
Because the pictures that we saw, the original look of the Penguin was completely different. He had like slick back hair or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think apparently people said that that they didn't agree on his look, that they were doing test shots to see how that would look. They didn't like it, so they completely changed it, and now the look better. It looks so good, man.
Yes, it does.
Like it gives me the Arkham series vibes. Like that one for sure did. And then obviously Robert Pattinson as the Batman, and I'm sure there's way more other characters that we haven't got a chance to see yet, like Alfred, Andy Serkis's Alfred. We get to hear his voice.
Yeah, that little taste of his voice. I like that he isn't doing like a gruff or like a weird Gollum thing. He's sounding very sincere, and just he just sounded comforting, which you want from an Alfred. That's Alfred to a T.
Yeah, Alfred's pretty much like his only other father figure in his life. So hopefully we get to see that dynamic between the two of them. You know what I mean? Where he's around there and always has his back. But dude, overall the trailer was amazing. I love the music. I love the tone of everything.
Those Kurt Cobain lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what really kicked the trailer off for me, right? I'm sitting there watching it. And I'm like, all right, I'm digging it. I'm kind of in the zone. And then Robert Pattinson gets asked who he is, and he just beats the hell out of that guy. And it's all in one take, not a choppy thing, not too much crazy flips. He's just pummeling that man. And I was like, I like this. This is a good movie.
Yeah, the sounds are very good. So when you hear him just beating his ass, you hear every punch, man. Yeah. And it even cuts to the other like goons that he's looking at.
They're like, oh shit.
The goons are like, you still hear it in the background.
Like, oh. Yep.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of speculation going on, like whose goons are those? I'm gonna say that's probably Penguins. Some people are saying the Jokers or whatever. I don't think they're
doing Joker in this movie.
No, I don't think so. And if he does, dude, that'd be like a total like caught off guard thing because I think it's too soon. I hope that he just focuses on characters that haven't really been used that much or do different interpretations of them, because we just got a Joker movie. I think we should take a break from Joker. If they want to do that, they do it like on a third film or something. But like right now, just focus on certain characters that could be used better, because like the Mad Hatter would be a good one, and I think that's one of the characters that got confirmed for this too, that totally hasn't even been introduced in there yet. So yeah, we'll have to just wait and see, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, during the panel, Matt Reeves talked very, very briefly. Well, it seemed brief because I was enjoying it. Essentially saying that while, yes, Batman's starting out, so too are the criminals of Gotham. Like, they're all pretty much in their fledgling stages. They're not quite fully who they are quite yet, because the Batman isn't fully quite who he is yet. So there's definitely room to grow. If you have gripes with these characters, hold them down, because it's not like they're in their prime yet. They're beginning to stand up. But yeah, no
Yeah,
man.
that's the thing. I think that's the thing that people are like missing too, is the fact that, dude, this is year 2 of Batman. Like, even the cops don't even like him yet. The only person that trusts him is James Gordon. But everybody, like, in the beginning shot, you see him walking down the hallway. Clearly, that's the Batman that's walking, like the perspective
with his
that we're
tactical
looking
boots.
through.
Yeah.
Yes. And you see the cops looking at him like, fuck, what is this guy? You know, he's a freak. Like, you know what I mean? They're just giving him that look. So it's like, that kind of gives you, you know, an idea of what Batman we're diving into here.
Yep.
You know, he's still going to be a noob. He's probably going to get hit. You know what I mean? He's probably going to, you know, get shot too. Like, cause he's probably still working up to it. And I love the fact that, that they are going to focus a lot on the detective work, because that is something that we don't get a lot of in the Batman movies.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think would be really cool, because he is, you know, he is a detective master.
Yeah, he's the great detective.
Yeah, so that would make sense to kind of dive into that, like the whole murder mysteries and stuff, and him figuring out all the riddles and all that. So I'm looking forward to this, man.
Dude.
So